Hi, I'm Dr. Francesca Zampollo, and this is a food design travel note. I am in Cambodia right now, and I was in Vietnam before coming here. And in these two countries, the only two in Southeast Asia that I have visited so far, I have noticed something that made me think of how the evolution of the shape of one object influences the shape of another object, and how these two shapes can evolve differently in different parts of the world. Let me show you. I'm talking about knife and chopping board. This is what I'm used to in Europe, US, and probably all the western side of the world. This is how your regular kitchen knife looks like. And yes, there are many different shapes for many different functions, but this is like your main one, like the must-have. And this is your regular chopping board. Again, there are many different sizes and shapes, but we can agree that in the domestic kitchen, and this is the context where we are staying, this is the main chopping board. They are usually rectangular, more or less thin, and easy to pick up. And these two objects work together all the time. You put your veggies or whatever on the chopping board, you chop, and then you need to move the veggies from the chopping board to somewhere else, usually another container. And this is how I'm used to do it. Pick up the chopping board and slide the veggies onto something else. So much so that food designers have been designing chopping boards that make this action even easier. And then I came to Southeast Asia, where these two objects evolve differently. First of all, this is your common kitchen knife. This is common also in China and Japan, as far as I understand. And this is your regular chopping board, the one that everybody has. Again, we're talking about the domestic kitchen. It's round, it's made of wood, it's heavy, and sometimes it's even bigger and heavier. And because this thing scares the hell out of me, I've been using this one, the only other option I have. Not ideal, but at least I know how to hold these. So I cut my veggies, and then I thought, and now, how do I put this in the pot? I tried lifting the chopping board, and it's heavy. It's clear that this thing has not been designed to be picked up a few times every time you cook a meal. When I started opening my eyes and looking around, I noticed that people were doing this. They were taking the knife and using the knife, the broad surface of the knife, to scoop the food up and transfer it somewhere else. The knife, because of its shape, became the utensil to move the food from the board. In different parts of the world, objects have evolved to have different shapes and different functions. So the action of moving the food from the chopping board to another container is done by the chopping board in some parts of the world and by the knife in other parts. And of course, there's nothing wrong with using your hands. This is a classic design example of the relationship between shape and function. Let me know what design for food objects you have found around the world that have triggered your thinking. Let me know in the comments below or in my Facebook page. So, I food design. Do you? If you want to see more of these videos and much more, feel free to click on subscribe. Thank you for watching and happy food design!